Talking about hobbies is a great way to connect with others and to share our interests. So whether you're talking about your favorite pastimes and what you do in your free time, these are going to be the expressions, the vocabulary, and the questions that you want to ask to have a conversation about hobbies. Please like and subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments, what is your hobby? I would love to know. On this slide, we can see the types of hobbies that we can talk about. So first of all, we have the categories: artistic, musical, sports, crafts, outdoor, tech, or collecting. And in each section, each category, we have some options of words that you can use. For myself, I like painting, so I'm going to use painting in a lot of the examples. Have a look through the list and find your hobby there and the vocabulary that you need, and let's continue using it in our discussion. As you can see here, we have some vocabulary you can use to describe your hobby. You could use relaxing, challenging, creative, engaging, therapeutic, rewarding, or social. When we meet someone that is new to us, it's great to start a conversation about hobbies. It's a good icebreaker. Here are some sentences you could use. So, what hobbies are you into these days? Or, introducing yourself, I've been into photography for a few years. I can't imagine life without my guitar. Let's go hiking this weekend. It'll be fun. So let's get the other person to talk and ask them some questions. What do you do for fun? Do you have any hobbies? How do you spend your free time? Are you into any sports or activities? Now remember, I said I'm going to use painting as my hobby, as it is my hobby. So we could say, I'm passionate about painting. In my free time, I enjoy painting. I've been painting for 20 years. One of my favorite pastimes is painting. So to express our interest or enthusiasm for something, we can use these expressions. I absolutely love painting. Painting is something I can't get enough of. I find painting to be incredibly rewarding. There's nothing quite like painting to get my creative juices flowing. And if we want to give a bit more information about our hobby, we could use these words to share our experience. I started painting when I was 16 years old. The best part about painting is the creativity. I recently tried painting and it was amazing. I've learned so much from painting. Now let's look at some phrases to invite others to join us. Would you like to join me for painting sometime? Have you ever tried painting? You might really enjoy it. We should do painting together. Let's plan a day to go hiking. Remember to keep practicing your dialogues. Ask questions, find a friend to practice with, and answer your questions. It will make you sound more natural, and you should be using these expressions all the time to discuss your hobbies and your free time. English with Fiona. Today we're going to look at restaurants and particularly ordering food. So what the waiter is going to ask and how you're going to respond. So we'll look at key phrases that you can use in a restaurant. So when you first arrive at the restaurant, your waiter will come up to you and say, "Good evening, do you have a reservation?" Or they might say, "How many people in your party? Would you prefer inside or outside? And right this way, please." So first of all, if you have a reservation, you could answer yes. We'll have a look at some phrases now. How many people in your party means, are there 2 or 3 or 4 people who will be sitting together? Would you prefer inside or outside? Some restaurants have places for you to sit inside and eat, or there might be an outside area where you'd prefer to eat on a beautiful outside sunny evening. And right this way, please, means follow me and I'll show you to your table. So as the guest, here are some phrases or some sentences that you can use to answer. So, hello, a table for two, please. Or if you have made a reservation, you could say, we have a reservation under Smith, and give your name or your surname. And you might ask the waiter, could we sit by the window or could we sit outside? So now that the waiter has shown us to our tables, he's given us the menus as well, and the next thing he's going to ask us for our order. He's going to take our order. So what the waiter will say is, can I start you off with something to drink? Or are you ready to order? Or do you need a few minutes? Sometimes we're not sure. The choices all look so good. The waiter could tell us today's special is. And if we order meat, the waiter will ask, how would you like that cooked? Our choices could be rare, medium, well done. These are the most common options. The waiter will then ask, would you like any sides with that? So the sides could be perhaps an extra salad, extra vegetables. And if we ask them something perhaps a bit more unusual, the waiter could say, I'll check with the kitchen and see. It means I will go and ask and see if it's possible to do this for you. Now, as the guest sitting in the restaurant, maybe we're not sure about what we want yet. So we could ask the waiter, what do you recommend? We could also ask, what are your specials? When we decide, we could say, I'll have the steak, or I'll have the soup. And perhaps you have some preferences or some allergies. So you could ask, could I get this without something? And can I have the dressing or sauce on the side, please? Sometimes we want to order a meal and share it between two of us. So we could tell the waiter, we'll share this, thank you. So the waiter knows then to bring an extra plate. So during the meal, the waiter will come and check with you, is everything all right? Often they do this when we've just put food in our mouth. Or the waiter could ask, are you enjoying your meal? If you are drinking coffee, the waiter would ask, would you like a refill? And for us as the guest, we could say, excuse me, could we get another Coke? Could we get another coffee? Everything is great, thank you. Could I have a refill, please? When we're getting to the end of our meal, the closing or the ending and the payment, the waiter will come and ask us, can I get you anything else, or are you ready for the check? I'll take your check or bill whenever you're ready. Please pay here at the table, or please pay at the front or at the register. And thank you so much for coming. Lovely to see you. Perhaps as the guests, we're not quite finished yet, we want some dessert. So we could say, could I see the dessert menu, please? Sometimes when we've eaten, it was too much and we couldn't finish. So you could ask, could I get this to go? It means please put the leftovers into a bag for me. And if you're finished with everything, you could ask the waiter, could we have the check, please? Let's just look at some key vocabulary here for service. We talked about in the beginning the reservation. This is your booking for the meal at the restaurant, where you will tell them how many people will be in your party. Seating. Okay, you can choose your seating. Your seating are the tables and chairs where you would like to sit. Could be inside or outside. Your order, we looked at that. You would order your meal. It's your starters, your main dish, your dessert, your drinks, beverages. And then at the end of the meal, this is different in different countries. In some countries, you have a service charge where it is included in the meal price. It will be stated on the menu, service charge included. In other countries, tipping is required. So this means you would pay something extra at the end of your meal to your waiter to say thank you for their service. So to continue practicing on your own, you could write sentences. If you want to write them in the comments below, I will check them for you. And let me know if there are any new phrases here that you're going to use next time you go to the restaurant. We're going to look at some vocabulary to describe emotions and to talk about feelings. In this lesson, you're going to get some definitions and there will be some example sentences to see how it's used. Advanced vocabulary. So we can start with the section on happiness. So the first word we have is joyful, experiencing great pleasure and delight. For example, she felt joyful when she heard the news about her promotion. Elated, extremely happy and excited. He was elated to win the championship. Content, satisfied and at ease. After a long day, she felt content sitting by the fireplace. Ecstatic, overwhelmed with intense joy. They were ecstatic at the birth of their first child. Next up, we look at some more advanced words for love. Adored, deep love and respect. He adored his grandmother for her kindness. Cherished, hold dear with affection. She cherished the memories of her childhood. Infatuated, intense, short-lived passion or admiration. He was infatuated with her intelligence and wit. Devoted, loyal and loving. They were devoted to each other throughout their marriage. Sadness. Melancholy, a deep, persistent sadness. A sense of melancholy lingered after the summer ended. Despondent, feeling hopeless and in low spirits. He became despondent after losing his job. Dismal, depressingly gloomy. The rainy weather made the day feel dismal. Heartbroken, overwhelmed with grief or sorrow. She was heartbroken after the breakup. Some more advanced vocabulary to express anger. Furious, extremely angry. He was furious when he found out about the betrayal. Irate, very angry, enraged. The customer became irate over the poor service. Seething, filled with intense but unexpressed anger. She was seething with anger after the unfair treatment. Livid, furiously angry. He was livid when his car was towed. Some different vocabulary for fear. Terrified, extremely afraid. She was terrified of the thunderstorm. Apprehensive, anxious or fearful about the future. He felt apprehensive about starting his new job. Petrified, so frightened that one is unable to move. She was petrified at the sight of the snake. Alarmed, sudden fear or concern. He was alarmed by the loud noise in the middle of the night. Surprise. First example, astonished, greatly surprised or impressed. They were astonished by the magician's tricks. Flabbergasted, extremely surprised or shocked. She was flabbergasted when she won the lottery. Startled, sudden shock or alarm. He was startled by the unexpected knock on the door. Bewildered, confused and surprised. He looked bewildered when he entered the wrong classroom. Let's look at some alternatives to disgust. Revolted, feeling intense disgust. The foul smell revolted everyone in the room. Repulsed, intense aversion or disgust. She was repulsed by the graphic scenes in the movie. Nauseated, feeling sick and disgusted. The sight of the spoiled food made him feel nauseated. Distasteful, unpleasant or offensive. She found his rude comments distasteful. So you can continue practicing on your own, write some example sentences for me in the comments below and I will check it for you. Please check out my next video. I'm sure it's going to be very valuable to you too. Welcome to English with Fiona. Today we're going to talk about cooking food. So we're going to look at the verbs, the phrases, and some idioms to talk about cooking food. So when we're in the kitchen and we're standing around the counter preparing to make a meal, let's have a look at some of the verbs and the techniques that we need to use. First of all, we talk about food preparation, or the prep. So we have dice, small cubes. So literally to dice is to cut into small square shapes. To chop, it's more rough pieces. So you don't have to be so meticulous as when you dice. Mince is finely chopped food. So very small pieces. To grate is to shred using a grater. Be careful of your fingers with this. Peel is to remove the skin of something. We often use it with vegetables, but very often with fruit. You might peel the skin from the fruit. A banana, you remove the peel to eat the banana inside. And to marinate is if you want to add that extra flavor to your food. Generally, we use this with meat. So it is to soak the meat in a sauce. So we've completed our prep. Now we need to move on to the next step. We need to mix everything together. So we have different ways we could do this now. A whisk. This is a special kitchen tool. It's to beat something, to mix it very fast, to blend it fast. To fold is a more gentle mix, to fold it. To stir is a circular motion. If you take sugar in your tea or your coffee, you would stir it with a spoon. And to blend is to combine something thoroughly. So often you might also hear mix well. Mix everything together well, blend it well. So now we are ready to start cooking our food and we need some heat. So we can saute something. To saute means to fry it in a little oil. So we use this with stir fries. It's very common. To simmer, it's when the water is boiling, but just a low boil. So it mustn't have lots and lots of bubbles. A simmer is a low boil. Sear, again, we use this with meat when we're cooking meat. It's to brown it quickly. So it's a very high temperature, very hot, and very quick. To baste is to pour juice over meat. So remember before, we put the marinade on top of our meat and we soaked it in well, so we can baste as well. So afterwards we use some of that extra sauce or juice and we pour it over the meat. And to blanch is to scald something quickly. So to scald it, we put it in very hot water, boiling water, very quickly blanch it, often with vegetables. Okay, some essential phrases we need when cooking in the kitchen. So to cook up a storm. So it's cooking a large amount of food, perhaps for a party or a big gathering of friends, and we're doing it with a lot of passion. There's lots of laughter, perhaps a few glasses of wine as well, and we cook up a storm. To season to taste. So this means to add salt or pepper to your preference. So it means you can add individually on your plate the seasoning that you would like. And reduce. This is part of the cooking process. It's to boil a liquid until it becomes thicker. Let's have a look at some idioms with cooking. So if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So it means if it is too hot, if there is too much pressure, you need to leave the room. So it doesn't have to just be about cooking. It could be in a job, in a work project, in life in general. You can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. A watched pot never boils. What this is saying is that If we are waiting for something with a lot of anticipation and we keep looking at the clock, we keep looking at the time, it seems to go slower. In the same way, a watch pot never boils. It seems to take forever. Too many cooks spoil the broth. So this could be in any situation. If there are too many people involved, too many opinions, conflicting opinions, it's very difficult to come to some sort of agreement, and things could actually get ruined. So too many cooks spoil the broth. The proof is in the pudding. So what it's saying is that you need to taste it, you need to try it, and then you can give your opinion of it. If I am doing something and maybe you're not sure it's going to work out, I can say to you, the proof is in the pudding. It means wait until I'm finished and then see whether it was successful or not. But remember to keep practicing on your own, and if you would like some help, write a sentence in the comment and ask me any questions you want. I hope you've learned a few new phrases today, and perhaps some idioms too. Hi, welcome to English with Fiona. Today we're going to look at some advanced English phrases and expressions that are common in everyday conversations. So we'll start with break the bank. If something breaks the bank, it means it's too expensive. If you have a budget and you've planned a certain amount, if you break the bank, it means it's too much, too expensive. Cut to the chase. Sometimes people talk a lot with too many explanations, too many examples. Cut to the chase. Get to the point. Keep me in the loop. This means keep me updated. If you're having a situation with a client and there are a lot of problems and you ask someone to just keep me in the loop so that I can update the client or I can update my manager. Throw caution to the wind. It means take a risk. Sometimes we overthink things. Maybe we're too cautious and we need to throw caution to the wind and take that chance. To be on the same page is to be in agreement. Everyone understands what we are doing. If we sit down together and we're all working on a project together, we make sure first we're all on the same page. We have the same information and the same goals. To face up to something means there's a difficult situation, something that is uncomfortable or awkward, and you don't want to have to deal with it, but you need to face up to it. You need to be brave, and you have to then handle it. Now let's look at some common conversation phrases. These are all ones that you will hear every day with English speakers. So, on the whole means generally. We're talking about something in its entirety. On the whole. I could say, on the whole, that is a well thought out plan, but let me think about it further. As a matter of fact, it means you're going to clarify something. Perhaps there's an error. In reality, this is what I believe, or this is what is stated. As a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, he is the chairman of the board, not her. So by and large, also a nice expression, it means mostly. Similar to generally, but that would be on the whole. By and large is mostly. This is how things are. By and large, women tend to be better drivers than men. In the long run, so this is over a long period. It's a long run. In the long run. I can't get behind that. Means I can't support that. If I did support it, I'd be 100% with you, but I can't get behind that idea. And that's spot on. Means that is exactly correct. 100% right. Remember, when you are learning these phrases, the most important thing here is don't look at it as individual words. You must learn it as a chunk, as a phrase. On the whole, as a matter of fact, by and large, in the long run, I can get behind that. Well, that's spot on. It's a whole sound that you need to learn together, and that will make your speaking easier. Let's have a look at some descriptive phrases here. To be white as a ghost. If somebody gets a big fright, you could say to them, "Oh, you are white as a ghost. What happened?" Means they are very pale from fear. beneath you. It means not worthy of your status. If you say that something is beneath you, sometimes people are nasty and unpleasant, and they're not normally like that. So you could say, no, that comment was beneath you. You are not normally like that. By the skin of my teeth. It means something just barely happened. I only just managed to do it. By the skin of my teeth. And the whole 9 yards means everything. This can include a lot of different descriptions. For example, if you're explaining a complicated process, you could say, we have to do this, we have to do that, there was a next step, another step. It was the whole 9 yards. Everything. So continue practicing on your own, and if you want some help, please feel free to write in the comments. I will check your example sentences, and I will let you know where you're going wrong or what you're doing correct. See you in the next video. Talking about the weather and seasons can be a delightful way to engage in conversation and connect with others. When discussing the weather, you can use descriptive terms such as sunny, cloudy, rainy, windy, or stormy to convey the current conditions. For example, you might say, it's a beautiful sunny day today, perfect for a walk in the park. Let's have a look at some vocabulary to describe the weather today. Rainy, sunny, windy, freezing, mild, hot, storm, hail, lightning, thunder, snow, drizzle. When somebody asks you the question, what's the weather like today? You can answer, it's overcast and rainy. It's sunny and the sky is blue. It's windy and the leaves are blowing on the trees. It's freezing. I'm staying at home today. It's mild today, perfect for a walk. It's hot today, perfect weather for the beach. Spring is often associated with blooming flowers and mild temperatures. You can say spring into action to suddenly start doing something, and have a spring in one's step, which is used to describe someone who is full of energy and enthusiasm. Summer is known for its warmth and long days. Dog days of summer refers to the hottest, most oppressive days of summer. To chase rainbows is to pursue unrealistic or impossible goals, akin to the fleeting nature of a rainbow. Fall or autumn brings colorful leaves and cooler air. To turn over a new leaf, this phrase means to start fresh or make a change for the better, similar to how leaves change with the seasons. To harvest the fruits of your labor is to enjoy the benefits or results of one's hard work, much like harvesting crops in the fall. Winter is synonymous with snow, chilly winds, and cozy indoor activities. The dead of winter describes the coldest, darkest part of winter, when the days are short and the nights are long. Winter blues refers to feelings of sadness or depression that some people experience during the winter months. Today you are going to learn at least 20 new English words and about 10 phrases that you have never used before. You need these words to help you in conversations about transportation, ensuring effective communication whether you're planning a journey, discussing routes, or sharing travel and vacation experiences. This lesson will provide all the vocabulary and expressions you need to discuss transport, to participate fully in a conversation in English, and to share your travel experiences with your friends. Let me know in the comments below how many of these words you knew and how many were new to you. Here's a list of vocabulary related to cars and driving. Accelerate is to increase the speed of the car. Brake, to slow down or stop the car using the brake pedal. Steering wheel, the wheel used to guide and control the direction of the car. Turn signal, a lever that indicates the car's direction it is going to turn, so it indicates to signal a turn. The windshield is the front window of the car. If you are learning a lot of new vocabulary, that is great. Subscribe and you can continue to improve your English with me. Let's continue now to some vocabulary to do with planes and flying. A runway. This is the strip of land where planes take off and land. Taxiing is the movement of an aircraft on the ground under its own power. To take off is the movement the plane lifts into the air from the runway. And landing, the opposite, the movement when the plane starts descending to land on the runway. Boarding, to check in and to be seated on the plane. Let's learn some more advanced expressions and vocabulary. So knowing these words and phrases allows us to effectively communicate our travel plans and navigate various transport systems with ease. Common types of transport include cars, buses, trains, bicycles, and airplanes, each offering unique advantages and vocabulary. When discussing car travel, you might use phrases like hitting the road, carpooling, or taking a road trip. For public transport, on the other hand, you might hear catch a bus, hop on a train, or take the subway. Buses are often associated with terms like public transport, bus stop, and catching the bus, whereas air travel is described as board a flight or catch a plane. Trains are a fascinating mode of transportation with a rich vocabulary associated with their operation, infrastructure, and culture. We're going to discuss that soon. Please keep watching. For more environmentally friendly options, cycling vocabulary includes bike lanes, pedaling, and cycling routes. Additionally, trains, planes, and boats expand our travel horizons with terms like boarding, departure, and embarkation. We talked about trains and that rich culture and vocabulary. So here are some keywords. Locomotive, the engine that powers the train, typically found at the front. Freight car, a type of rail car used to transport goods and cargo. Passenger car, also known as a coach. This is the rail car designed to carry passengers. Railroad tracks, the metal rails on which trains run, supported by sleepers or ties. Conductor, a train crew member responsible for managing passengers and overseeing the train's operation. He is also the person that you can purchase a ticket from. If you are into cycling holidays and more eco-friendly types of transport, this is for you. Pedals, which are the flat pieces you push with your feet to move the bike forward. And the handlebars, the part you hold onto to steer the bike. The saddle refers to the seat where you sit, while the chain is the metal loop that connects the pedals to the rear wheel, enabling movement. Gears are mechanisms that change the difficulty of pedaling, and the frame is the main structure of the bicycle, supporting all the other components. Additionally, brakes are essential for stopping or slowing down, typically operated by levers on the handlebars. Let's conclude with some more vocabulary. The variety of transport options available for daily travel caters to diverse needs and preferences, each with its unique advantages. Public transportation such as buses and trains offers cost-effective and environmentally friendly choices for commuting, often alleviating traffic congestion and reducing individual carbon footprints. Personal vehicles, while offering flexibility and privacy, can contribute to traffic and pollution if not managed sustainably. Cycling and walking stand out as healthy and eco-conscious alternatives, promoting physical well-being and reducing environmental impact. Emerging technologies like electric scooters and ride-sharing apps further diversify the landscape, providing innovative and convenient solutions, including distance, cost, accessibility, and personal priorities. These highlight the importance of a balanced and sustainable approach to mobility. I hope you've learned many new words today. I'm sure you have. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your progress.